Okay, electrical on the sub 85. Let's jump in here and look at this. I'm going through trying to get a bunch of the specific questions answered on these things. So we're only going to cover electrical in this video on what the system is in here. For those of you who want to go into a deeper dive on these, you're welcome to do that. We got other videos over there on the channel. I'll link them here at the end of the video or something, and you can go and do full-on walkthroughs. But today we're only going to talk about the electrical system in here. So we are up here in Alaska, so that you understand what this unit is. We're up here in Alaska manufacturing these for Prudhoe Bay. They go up to the North Slope. It's a fully aluminum structure and all of that fun stuff. They have different options. You can see this doesn't have a window, but this particular unit does. So that's basically what these things are. We build them completely here in Alaska. So the electrical system. Let's open this up. Maybe we'll get some lights on too. Let me turn on some lights. Oh wait, we got to get the battery disconnect on. Let's go out there. So out here, we have got the main disconnect. This particular client, that's where they put their disconnects on their whole fleet, so it's good and safe. You can just come right outside, turn it on and off. So now that we have power, let's go inside here, turn on some lights. You want your coat back?
No, I just have a question for you.
Okay. What's up? Okay, good talk. I took his coat because it's cold out here. Okay, so there we go. There's some lights. Got some lights. Now, inside here, we have got our batteries that we bring in. These are silicone batteries. This is a full electrical system, I would say, that we offer inside this particular unit. These are 150 amp hour batteries. They're silicone batteries. These are amazing. We've been running them about 5 years. They do incredible in the cold. We have had far better luck with these than we ever have with any AGM, hands down, period. But we really like these batteries. Couldn't be happier with them. Anyway, so this is 300 amp hour sitting here. Back in there, you can see we have got some bus bars. You can do an actual, bonding stud. So you're going to run all your terminals to a lug. Then right over here, back in there, we have got a relay bank. Right, that is what feeds all of the lights in here, the lights on the exterior, and they're all run over to these upfitter switches. And then really all that's run over to that switch is a main power, and then the only switches or light wires that are run over there are the activations for each one of those relays, and then the main load for each relay is run to an individual fuse into this Blue Sea 100 amp 12 position fuse block. Then the heater is also wired into this fuse block as well. Then behind here is a breaker that I believe on this particular build is an 80 amp breaker. That is a 100 amp block. That's an 80 amp breaker. If you're going to wire in more circuits in here, then you're going to want to size accordingly. That's completely on you. Make sure you're not oversizing breakers and doing poor engineering. This right here is designed in. You can see back in there, that hole right there, you can see that there is insulation in there, and then you're right here onto the plywood. So the reason why we have it set up this way, we have changed our design. We have got it set up to where there's not thermal transfer from outside into the batteries for the cold. They're sitting right on top of plywood that has insulation directly on the other side. That keeps these nice and warm. And then the reason why the electric bay is in here, or the battery bay is in here, is because right next to them we drag all of the air, the return air for the furnace over there, or for the heater over there, right over the batteries, and that keeps them warm. That's going to maximize your output. If you're going to put your own batteries in here, which you definitely can, throw an AGM in there if you need to. If you don't want to drop the money on these batteries, these are definitely more expensive than AGM, but it's because they're better. You're going to want to vent them to the exterior. Put them in a little case and vent it to the exterior. There's nothing at all wrong with that. But make sure that you put a dry cell or a sealed battery in here so it's not gassing off. But that's how we do our electrical. This is all 2-aught cable. You know, if you're running larger inverters where you've got, you know, a 4,000 watt inverter, which is really common for this particular fleet, they'll put 4,000 watt inverters in here, but then they're going to be running that load mainly off of the alternator on the vehicle. You're going to probably want to have 4-gauge or 4-aught cable. 2-aught is plenty for anything in the 3,000 you know, sizing category, depending on how far you're running to your inverter. So if you're going up here and you're installing your inverter somewhere way over there, that's not necessarily good engineering, electrical engineering. You're going to want it closer, but yeah, you'll bump up your sizing. So that's how we do our electrical system, but I'll show you over here how the electrical system is set up. Let me shut this off. How it's set up in these units when you do not get the batteries from us. This is how it is going to look right over here. Okay, right there. There you go. That's how you get it. So this green wire right here is literally just your DOT marker lights. This is wired into your headlight harness on the truck, or your headlight circuit for the truck. And yes, I know you'll wire it into the trailer side harness and all that fun stuff. But there you go. That's what the electrical system looks like. You'll just run your power wire right over here to this stud, and then your ground right there, and then just run that to your battery. Okay, very simple stuff. If you're going to be running to the battery, we always like to protect between the battery and the fuse panel. I know every single one of these circuits is technically protected, but it's nice to have main protection on for the fuse block here. And then coming in, and then that way coming in from all your different feed sources. So if you're going to bring your truck over here, you'll run it to a breaker, and then you'll run your main battery also to a breaker. That way they're isolated, right? Just in case something happens with the truck side, it's protected. Something happens with the utility side or camper side, however you want to term it, they're both individually protected. But that's all your call. That's your engineering to do. So right here, this is where everything runs down, and this particular client wanted a really large electrical chase. So we've got 3-inch really strong heater silicone hose, but that's because a lot of stuff is going through this and they don't want it getting damaged. You don't have to go that crazy with it. You can just put, you know, wires down through there and then kind of seal them up, or however you want to do it. But that's how we do electrical. Now, before I wrap this particular video up, the electrical is run up through this chase right here. Every one of these units gets that, and then these chases come down, and you can run your harnesses all around the perimeter here through, and you can send your wires out the wall. So if you have a backup camera, or you have more side lights that you need, or whatever it is you need to get electrical over to this side for some reason, for some kind of equipment, you can just run it down through those chases. You can also, this is all 3/8 plywood, so you can screw, if you're going to be putting an 110 volt in here through via an inverter, there's not a reason in the world why you can't run conduit and screw it directly to that wall. All right, so that's electrical on the sub 85s here, and on just in general this whole production method. Okay, all right guys, we will catch you on the next video. There are more in-depth videos on these if you need to watch them.